Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Joel. I'm now a nurse graduate from Imperial Valley College and currently working in the ER as an RN. And for today's video, it's going to be mentality before studying for the NCLEX and nursing school. Now, with regarding mentality, I remember we did a video talking about purpose, like attaching meaning before you're studying something. I think that was like the video that I did about like the one study tip I recommend before using the before studying for the NCLEX. But this one, I guess this is the thing that I used during nursing school and then the NCLEX, and then I first applied this mentality and then I applied the mentality that I did on the previous video. But this mentality goes a little bit in regards to getting the fuel or the energy of studying. Now, you first need to have a mind change or a perception of change in your mind. The first one has to be that you don't have to study. You don't have to do X, Y, and Z. You get to do X, Y, and Z. You get to study. You don't have to study, but you want to study. There's a really key concept in regards to making that change, because you are giving yourself the chance of choosing. If you say, I have to study for this, I have to learn about this today, I have to know the pathways of whatever, you make yourself feel like a slave in a sense that you have to do this and you have no choice whatsoever, therefore you have to do it. And technically we don't like that. We don't like to not have options. But if you change your mindset into, I will get to study for this, I want to study for this because of X, Y, and Z, you're gonna see that your mood is gonna change a little when you are studying, because you want to do it. It's your choice to do it. You tend to have a choice. So when you have a choice, you don't feel like a slave anymore, because you're choosing to do the following thing. Now, before you study, I want you to ask yourself, why do I want to learn this? And don't say the answer of like, because I have to. No, really give yourself a reason. For instance, with me, one thing that was really difficult was EKGs. For me, it was like there's a lot of different types between atrial and fibrillar. I'm sorry, ventricular, atrial and ventricular. I'm really sleepy right now. And there's a lot of styles, waves, whatever you want to call it, depending on where you're at in the EKGs. But you can tell like there's a really big difference between a lot of them, and you might not know how to read them because like I just see lines and I just see like little dots, but they all have meanings and they all mean something, and they're very critical for you to be able to spot them, especially in the ER whenever there's like an irregular wave going on. So there's many of them. So what helped me into memorizing them, or not memorizing them but learning them, it's really understanding, why do I want to learn this? Like why does it matter? Well, then I would try to convince myself, because that's the thing you have to do. You have to convince yourself that you want to do it. So for me, I would tell myself, well, it'll be cool to learn this, because that way if we see like an irregular rhythm or an irregular type of wave, we can let the doctor know, and it might be possible to be like a PVC, multifocal PVC, that can mean like a lot of things. Or it could be like a FIP, and you know, it can lead to some other stuff that we have to do as intervention. So by us catching those rhythms on the monitor of the EKG that is in the patient's bed, we can do better interventions in order to help that patient and not, you know, have to do like a rapid response or something. So I would try and convince myself with that. It would be like, it would be also nice to flex, you know, whenever there's like a really weird wave going on, for me to kind of like take a note of it and the doctor know, and they can be like, oh crap, like you're right, like this is going on. So it would make me feel more special or proud, you know, that I catched it, and it can fuel me to do more stuff in the future regarding like EKGs or cardiology or so forth. So I would go with that type of style in order to convince myself, and I'll be like, well, okay. And then don't have the mentality that you have to learn everything in one go. Unless you're cramming for an exam, then like, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. But technically saying that you have time to study, you know, you can do it by sections. You can be like, okay, I'm just gonna learn the atrial part to the EKG from today, and I'm gonna dedicate today, tomorrow, and the following day, so I can do my own rhythm. I can watch videos and I can do whatever I want. And then the following days I'm gonna be doing like ventricular and going over each of them, and then we can go with junctional, and then we can go with PVCs, and then multifocal PVCs or heart blocks, and then type 1, type 2, and all those, you know. But you can divide them by sections, but don't think like, okay, I have to learn everything in 2 days. Like, don't have it like that. If you're able to space it out, that'll be ideal, but always separate by sections that you think they're doable. If you have to do like one per day, one style per day, or 2 styles per day, then go for it. The whole point is that if you don't, then you're literally just cramping everything till the end, and you might probably pass the exam, you know, like, oh, supraventricular tachycardia or whatever, but then after that you're gonna forget it, and then you're gonna be like, crap. And then if you see it in a monitor, you're gonna be like, okay, I feel that's bad, but I don't know what it is. So always have that idea that you really want to learn something, and then try to convince yourself why do you want to learn it. And that way you have meaning towards whatever you're studying, and you're going to be enjoying it. And you can be playing music if you want, like whatever type of songs you like to listen to, whether it's like lyrics, non-lyrics, because you want to have fun. And I figured out that once I started in university, I study better with music that are lyrics. So like the Let's Study Together playlist, I would use it like very rarely now. I tend to go more with my own style of music. And some people, there's like 3 different type of people. The people that like do not like music at all, the people who like non-lyric piano music, and then there's the people who just like listen to anything and they're studying. So you could be any one of those. The big majority, and studies suggest that you should not listen to music at all. But if you do need to listen to something, then piano music, non-lyric music are definitely going to help in making the environment more pleasant. And if you just, you know, the least recommended one is to study with music. But with me, since I have this type of mindset, the one that I just explained to you, I just want to have fun, so I just play my songs that I listen to every day and go from there. I don't really know how to work it, just all of a sudden I just want to be like, you know what, I just want to have fun, so I'm just gonna play my own music, like not my Let's Study Together playlist, and it worked pretty well. So that's how I'm doing it right now. So yeah, it's really weird, but overall, just having that perception, especially when you're studying for the NCLEX, just really ask yourself, like, why do I want to learn this part of acid-base balance? Like, why does it matter, even though like it's for the NCLEX? Well, because knowing the pH of, you know, the ABGs are definitely going to help into knowing if a patient is going into a respiratory acidosis or alkalosis, and these factors can determine this clinical finding. Or if the patient is metabolic acidosis or alkalosis, it can mean like it's this type of problem, and that can help me into having like a general perception of the pathophysiology going on, kind of like that. You know, always try to convince yourself in a way of like, why do you want to learn this, and don't just say because I have to, because the NCLEX. Like, no, just really try and find a way about it. And you might think it's dumb, but once you apply it several times, at least apply it twice, you're gonna see like, well, my studying was a little bit better, or was a little more fluent, because I had a meaning towards studying, and I wanted to study it because of X, Y, and Z. So now you're doing it based on interest, not because you have to. So yeah, that's pretty much it of what I have today. If you found this video useful, please drop a like, and that way I can know that it was useful for you. I really hope this video works for you, because it did wonders for me, and that way you can be in your nursing school or in your NCLEX journey and have it a little bit more easier and have more meaning towards it. So not everything is just like I have to study because to get the grade, because that way you're gonna find that studying is gonna be completely uncomfortable, unpleasant, and you want to do everything except for studying. So you really want to try to make it fun, or at least make it meaningful, and have a purpose towards what you're doing, in order for you to be encouraging about it, because you don't want to hate the subject you're going to be focusing on for the rest of your life. You really want to find it interesting and want to learn more. So thank you so much guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.